The eSafety Commissioner, Julie Grant, is a former Twitter employee, as independent journalist Rukshan Fernando pointed out this week.
There's a lot of concerns about her involvement in this, being an ex-Twitter employee, and a conflict of interest potentially as well in her doing this type of work. But anyway, let's have a look at her comments that she made recently on a television network here in Australia, SBS News.
A third of all reports into our office of online hate are coming from Twitter. It's been a huge surge since October 22 when Elon Musk took over. And of course, there have been a confluence of factors that have added to this. You know, Twitter's always been fiery in terms of discourse, but it's turned into an absolute bin fire.
Yeah, so I've just stopped that there. Absolute bin fire. I don't think Twitter's turned into an absolute bin fire. Twitter's actually a place now where you can have reasonable discussions and debates and conversations without getting banned for the most ludicrous things, right? For hurting people's feelings and all sorts of stuff that you used to get banned before. So it's more of an open, free speech style platform, which is great. So she's calling that a bin fire, which really just goes to her own personal views.
Yep, spot on, Rukshan. And that is not okay. Her own personal views about Twitter are not representative of all Australians, especially of those of us not of the left-wing persuasion. So please, get lost.
You have to understand when this lady is speaking, you have to look at her as a representative of the Australian government, as the eSafety Commissioner. So the terms of reference that she's using, the language that she's using, there has to be some sort of underlying basis for those type of terms. But a lot of it's coming through as if it's her own feelings.
Very, very hard to be permanently banned from Twitter.
So again, she's saying very, very hard to be permanently banned from Twitter, as if that's a bad thing in terms of a platform that you can't permanently silence someone. Again, listen very carefully. This is a government official technically saying that it's very, very bad that a platform can't permanently ban someone, right?
Yeah. What a shame. We can't permanently ban the people who have wrong think and who do wrong speak. God, we are in such a mess in Australia. And Rukshan and I better watch out, right? As should Topher and Avi and Matt Wong and everybody else in the alternative media. Daisy Cousins and everybody on ADH. I mean, this is just frightening stuff. I've been a journalist for a very long time. I'm not young. I grew up in Queensland. I started my journalism career under the regime of Joh Bjelke-Petersen. And I never felt as worried as I do now about speaking out against the government back then, even under that well-known sort of very authoritarian style of government and corruption that we had in Queensland back then. So this is really serious. And most people don't even see it, and they don't even care.
A lot of the changes to the algorithms have made people feel like you see more toxicity, much worse, much more coarse discourse.
Again, she's talking about how people have been made to feel by the Twitter algorithm, right? This is not a regards to something that's black and white. If some rules have been broken or if someone's broken some rules about discrimination, it's nothing like this. It's just saying people have been made to feel this way, and the algorithm makes people feel in a certain way. Now the Australian government, through Julie, is getting involved in people's feelings. It's crazy stuff.
But without lifting the hood and using these transparency powers, we really don't know what's happening. And this is where we're trying to get to the bottom of things.
So this is what it's all about. She wants Twitter to give her information on users, on how their policies works. She wants information on the algorithm. So the government now is wanting to regulate how private companies do this, so it fits in with the government's own desires.
So they want the social media companies to give them information on you, on what you're doing on social media. And why does this bureaucrat get to drive her own agenda against Twitter and against all of us in the name of safety, but which seems to reflect a particular political worldview and an ideology that she and the government hold? And how much do these bureaucrats get paid? How much of our money goes to indulging their pet projects?
It's very important to note that the eSafety Commission, this Australian government body, is being the people that are working there are earning almost $3.5 million amongst themselves. Julie herself, her salary as eSafety Commissioner is about $450,000, approximately $444,983,000, right? That's how much she's getting paid from the taxpayer. On top of that, they're doing this, getting lawyers involved, writing legal notices to Twitter.
Yeah, it's costing us a fortune for them to push their agenda. This is not okay. This is not the role of government in a liberal democracy. It's the role of government in a nanny state or an authoritarian state. Independent online journalist Rukshan Fernando reporting there, and I urge you to watch Rukshan while you still can, doing the work that our official paid media don't do.